Hello, everyone, and I welcome you all to today's exclusive interview on scaling global capability centers for the future of marketing technology, data, and cloud. I'm your host, Khushi, and I'm delighted to have you with us. And I'm honored to welcome our distinguished guest speaker for today's session, Mr. Amit Khandelwal, Senior Vice President, Platform Services at Epsilon. It's such a pleasure having you, Amit, here with me today.
Thank you, Khushi. Pleasure for me as well. Thank you.
Thanks, Amit. So I take you through his profile first. He's leading the platform services business with over 27 years of global leadership experience in IT products and services. He brings deep expertise in strategy, revenue growth, P&L management, and building high-performing global teams. At Epsilon, he helps clients achieve their marketing goals by deploying industry-leading platforms and driving measurable outcomes. With experience partnering with Fortune 500 leaders, he has led large teams, managed portfolios over $100 million, and delivered impact across marketing technology, data, cloud, and digital. His expertise spans building and scaling global capability centers, solution architecture, pre-sales, and digital transformation. Passionate about strategic partnerships and growth, he leads with curiosity, purpose, and a future-ready mindset. So let's learn how global capability centers are powering the next wave of enterprise growth and innovation today. As you see that global enterprises expand and the digital landscape evolves, global capability centers are taking on a pivotal role in driving transformation across marketing technology, data, and cloud. What started as back office support functions has now evolved into strategic hubs of innovation, scale, and talent. So, in today's conversation, we will explore how GCCs are becoming future ready by adopting next gen marketing technologies, harnessing the power of data driven decision making, and building cloud first ecosystems that deliver agility at scale. From unlocking new business value to fostering collaboration between global and local teams, GCCs are redefining the way enterprises operate and innovate. So, our guest speaker today will share real world strategies, practical insights, and leadership lessons on how organizations can scale GCCs into centers of excellence that shape the future of marketing technology, data, and cloud. And now, without further ado, I would like to get started. So, Amit, to begin with, firstly, I would like to ask that how do you see the role of global capability centers evolving from cost centers to the true innovation hubs?
Yeah. Thanks a lot, Khushi. That was too much of introduction for me. I was just wondering. But thank you for all of that. And thanks to all the audiences listening to it.
Yeah.
So I think if I give little background of myself, in my last 27, 28 years of career, I've spent a lot of time with GCCs as such. Either I've worked with them or I've kind of supported them, but directly or indirectly, I've been associated. So I've been kind of looking at the journey of GCC, where it is, how it is heading. And you're right, when you started, GCC started, and even today, when somebody starts first thinking about GCCs, they set up more like a cost arbitrage model that, hey, we want to go offshore because we want to bring the cost down. But if I look at over the last decade or so, things have changed a lot. If I look at whether Microsoft thinks this way or Walmart thinks this way or probably other similar companies and all, no, they have set up a lot of R&D centers. The Goldman Sachs set up a lot of R&D centers. They may do a lot of outsourcing work, but when they look at India as such and the GCCs per se, their expectations are really getting higher. So I feel that it's been a journey, and it's been a fantastic journey for GCC. There could be like 2,000, 2,500 odd GCCs. And if I look at the maturity of GCCs, at least I would say 20, 25% have become more like a center of innovation, more like where the transformation of the organization is happening. So I think we are perfectly on our way in the journey. Most companies are kind of going through this phase. And there has been such a huge ecosystem. What we have in India, especially, is these companies, the setups which supports GCCs, then our startup community, which is heavily in Bangalore, Hyderabad, Pune, and different locations. The school colleges, the entire academia, which is coming into support. So I feel it is very positive, and I feel that globally, any organization who is kind of looking for expanding beyond one country, they have to look at setting up centers in India to support global operations, to support global scale. And anyone who is kind of looking for larger transformations, there is no better place than to come to India in terms of getting the high quality talent quickly available for that scale.
Rightly said, Amit. And of course, as you mentioned that as we are moving forward, what do you think the role that marketing technology, data, and cloud plays in helping GCCs deliver these scalable business growth?
Yeah. No, I think it's terrific. And I would say post these technologies, that is where the GCC, the journey has kind of literally skyrocketed, because technology was such an important area to kind of get that. So I feel marketing technologies, data, cloud, they are the pillars, they are the cornerstone if it comes to the overall scalability of the business. Um, and I think the neo technology adoption is pretty good in India. India is a very fast-paced adoption market, and if I look at last 10 years, because of these technologies, today most GCCs are able to play big bets. They are able to be in the center of R&Ds, center of product developments and evaluation and executions. They are sometimes leading the markets, like entire international markets. Many a times is being led by India. So I think that is where, if I kind of look at, there's been a lot of spend on the marketing technologies by our customers, and that spend and then fueled by the cloud and the data technologies on which we are building solutions for our customer. It is overall the growth has been fantastic, and that's how I see it. That this has significantly changed. I have spent time mostly into MarTech organizations, and I have seen them literally going multifold in few years.
Yes, Amit. And as you just mentioned, that as organizations should actually ensure that GCCs stay aligned with the global business priorities. So, how do you think organizations can actually ensure doing this while driving the local innovation as well?
Yeah, and I think that's very interesting, very pertinent question, which is there with every GCC today. Um, I think the biggest challenge, which when we are sitting in the GCC, is always to see are we completely aligned with our headquarters? Are we aligned with the different businesses what we are currently working on? And I feel that any GCC leader really works on this dual mandate, that aligning globally, innovation locally, or kind of literally working out the models locally and all. So I think that is no brainer. That is very, very important. And we always have to think about it, that we are building something for the global market, but we are bringing all the talent locally. We are bringing all the innovation locally. So that's been the mantra. Now, how it happens here is, and how I do it, or I would prefer others also to look at it, is, see, every organization's got the key KPIs, which are very important from the business standpoint. And it is very important that you should not be thinking GCC is completely a back office. GCC should be having a role to play in the key KPIs, whether it could be revenue, it could be market, it could be faster time to market, it could be customer centricity. Those are the KPIs. And none of the programs, whether it's an innovation program, AI programs and all, should be outside of these key KPIs. So I think that is a balance which a leader should do, to make sure that those KPIs are clearly aligned. And once it is aligned, it is a matter of execution. It is a matter of setting up the right governance model. You will see the journey is never smooth. In this journey, basically, you will see a lot of time there's a disconnect being happening, because sometimes, at least in my experience, I've seen that India moves very fast. The pace which you pick up in India and GCC and all, you need to see that whether are the rest of the organizations coming to that pace or no. And hence, I think it is important that you work out a right collaboration model, bringing everyone together. There is nothing like, when it comes to a program, there's nothing like it is a GCC program. It is an organizational-wide program, and that should be the approach for the entire team. So I think it is something which is happening, and people are learning really how to go through it.
Yes, and other than this, they're also, trying to also reskill according to the advancements that are happening. And other than ensuring all these things that are staying aligned, there are some challenges as well that we face. So, what are some challenges that you've seen when integrating advanced MarTech and the cloud solutions within GCCs, and how do you think we can overcome them?
Yeah. So I think, see, I look at this way. Some of these organizations have got history of 100 years, 50 years. So they've got a lot of legacy businesses, legacy technologies, legacy platform. Now, anything when they kind of set up GCCs, they set up with a goal, but not that the entire organization is getting outsourced or getting an extension arm in India. That is not the case. So what happens here is, and these are the challenges which I normally see here, is it is not easy that you can completely replicate an organization, which is your parent organization. So you are creating a subset of that organization. So keep some of these things very clear that don't pick up any and every goal, which probably may be there in the headquarters, that you have to be having a piece of that goal. No, that's not possible. Some of these legacy technologies are difficult to kind of grow and bring immediately. It takes time. And hence be cautious that something which could be your low-hanging ones and all, you pick up those, try it out, because now you've got cloud, but the technology has to support cloud. You've got data, but technology has to give you data. I mean, those platforms have to give you those data. So I'm saying, I think pick up those low hangings, pick up a business unit which you feel is supportive, which can really work well with you. Try out those things. And I think another important thing comes here is the talent. The legacy knowledge is not there in the India talent. And sometimes some of these technologies are so old that you can't really bring those talent. And hence, my approach always has been that pick up one bat at a time, go and execute, make it a success story in the organizations, and then it will automatically come. Then there'll be investment coming in that you will probably see that your parent companies are also sending a probably team and battalion of army coming and sitting in India and then setting up those processes. And I think that should be the way to go. So don't go behind it. It will come automatically, but you need to deliver successes time over time.
Yes, absolutely. And is there any challenge that you might have encountered recently which you would like to quote?
I mean, there are nothing like every day has been some of the other challenges. So I don't think, I mean, I can say that challenges are not there. I think these are very company specific, so I don't want to bring any specific ones. But if I look at when I started, maybe my first GCC role as such, it was some 12 years back. And my role, I could see that the expectations from the headquarters was very low. They just wanted to set up something in India and then have the team set up and being ready when needed. So no high expectations, actually no expectations. And that is where the journey from there onwards, but being Indian, we are competitive. We really want to do something. What next? Not even quarter, not even year, maybe on a quarterly basis. I think we kind of kept on saying, okay, what more we can do and how best we can do. And I could see that probably 2 years later, we almost become center part of the organizations. There is hardly anything which is not literally, which we are not part of it, or sometimes we are not literally the centerpiece of it. So I think that is a journey which everyone who is probably any of my colleagues who would be part of GCC journey may be going through. It all depends when and what time you are getting into their journey, because GCC has got its journey, and then the employees who are joining GCC, they've got their own journey. But this is not easy. This is not easy because on the other side, you are expecting a lot of change management to run very smoothly, which does not happen practically. But I think I feel whenever I meet my colleagues in the GCC side, I feel everyone has been learning the art of making GCCs, finding a right purpose in the large organization.
Yes, and you've literally portrayed it in a very insightful way for us, Amit, to understand. Because as we are moving forward, we really need the GCCs to also be future ready, and we also need to adapt according to all the tech space that it is evolving to. So moving forward with my next question, I would like to ask that in building these future ready GCCs, how important is talent strategy, particularly in nurturing the digital data and the cloud skill sets?
Yeah, I think talent has been a make or break for us. It's always talent, which has been, and I should not be saying no, we believe in something else and all. The talent is the centerpiece. Anytime the first time we started, that was talent. Now when we kind of pick up new programs and all, the talent becomes the centerpiece. That do we have those kind of leadership? Do we have those kind of technology skill set? Do we have the infrastructure? Which this team can drive and then bring it. So talent is no brainer. It's super important. And I feel that I personally have been working a lot on the talent side, which I feel is something which is giving us returns also. So see what's happening is in this talent business, your talent acquisition becomes very important. Your talent management becomes very important. And I give a lot of focus. When we go to colleges, we know what we want to select. When we go to external market, we know what a GCC talent would require. This could be different than a product company or a services company. So I think that strategy is something which is very important. And I'm very happy to see that how the whole ecosystem of the colleges and all, they are coming forward to support the talent which GCC need. So that is from the acquisition standpoint. But I think what I feel is important is we need to develop constantly. We need to develop more like a T-shaped talent. And when I say T-shaped, it is like you need to have your core strength, but you need to be good on your domains, and you need to be good on. Suppose you're working for industry on retail, then you should be good on retail and marketing technologies. But you need to be deep on the data or the cloud or maybe AI tools. So I think that is the kind of talent you need to have. And I feel that going forward, where we are heading, it is going to be extremely important that technologies are going to be easier to easier to execute. But I think what's going to be important is how a business domain-centric talent we are able to create here, who knows technology as well. And that is what we are currently working on, that how do we really enable everyone on the business side, because technology and the AI will solve a lot of technology challenges, but business is something which the expertise has to come within.
Yes, and definitely, Amit, with all these future-ready GCCs that we are preparing ourselves for and the tech space for, and also AI coming in the picture, it's a literal, amazing blend that we see with moving forward with all these advancements that are, buzzing around. But with AI coming in the picture, how do you see AI and automation reshaping the way GCCs operate in maybe the next 3 to 5 years?
Yeah. Very difficult to predict how that's going to happen. But if I look at what I can see sitting in next 1 year to 2 years, what probably we see is there's always been a decent adoption in AI. And I always see, I think today I read an article, 25% adoption, 25% GCCs are happy with the AI adoption. And those are the kind of numbers, but I don't probably want to go into the numbers. But what I see here is, I think in next 1 to 2 years, the majority of our basic tasks, which typically are happening in GCCs, which could be your development work, which could be supporting the SDLCs of the product developments and other functions, which could be getting a customer-centric organizations and getting the client services teams and different teams. I think majority of those tasks will get automated. So if I look at 2027, we should have some of these things automated. Now, what actually going to happen here is that with that, if I kind of see that the shape and size, GCC's shape and size, how it is going to see, most likely the GCCs may not scale too much on the sizes, but there could be more number of GCCs coming in. I think the success model of GCC is going to be prevalent. So today it is 2,500, tomorrow it could be 7,500 as well in 2 years, 3 years, because more people will be excited to come into that journey. So it is not for India, it is not going to be the scale of GCCs, it is going to be the scale of number of companies which are coming and working towards it. And I think with the kind of talent which is getting created and the business domain which is coming in, and I feel any company which is looking for global expansion, they will look for India GCC to be the hub. So GCC may not just remain a tech hub or may not just an IT outsourcing arm of an organization, but it will soon start becoming a business hub as well.
Yes, and definitely then the responses and the competition, of course, will be amazing, because with tech, with business, everything aligning with each other's strategies and the future strategic engines that we see, it will be a literally must watch for.
I can just see, when 10 years back, I always used to look at, hey, US companies typically, what is their tech spend? 10%, 12%, 8% kind of thing. But what is happening is those companies are becoming more tech companies now. So the businesses are becoming tech, and their spend has gone 30, 40% on the overall tech plus business. So those blurred lines are there. So now what was literally used to be the GCC scope was just a tech is becoming tech plus business. So I think there's a lot which GCC have to kind of gear up for it. And I'm sure that's something which is on the way.
Yes, and definitely we all will be, looking forward to witness all of that. As of course, that will be something that many developers and all of us have been, looking forward to. And with this, I would like to ask you the next question, that is there any advice that you would like to give to the leaders who are looking to transform their GCCs into strategic engines for the digital transformation?
Yeah, I think I think this is a question which we discuss often within our leadership circle as well. And I think I'll probably look for the same point which I mentioned earlier. It is extremely important that GCC objectives are aligned with the larger business objectives. Okay.
Yes.
There is always a mismatch that maybe the people sitting in the headquarters may look for GCC differently, and they will have a different expectations, whereas there could be a different aspirations which would be there with the GCC leaders. And this expectations and aspiration has to find out a right match. And till the time that match happens, there's always going to be a struggle in the journey. And hence, it is important that you really work towards it and get that match done. So now business goals are clear and you know where you are aligning on the business goals. The KPIs are clear. Start getting yourself measured on the organization KPIs rather than very technical KPIs, which could be cost saving, headcounts, this, that, and all. So those should not be the case. And I think other thing is, I think the other point also, which probably I would say is, there's always a difference in the headquarters and the GCCs. Headquarter is centered around business. So the business updates are much more quicker and faster for them. The GCCs are literally kind of, they are the innovation hub. So they are growing fast on the technology sides of things and all. But I think this has to come together. By the time you really take the pace and you move forward, and there could be changes in the business which is happening, and sometimes you feel everything is little derailed in the whole thing, and hence it becomes much more important that how do you really bridge the gap. There are sometimes you need to do more travel, you need to be more closer to the business, and hence and I feel that there is no compromise that you can cut down on the number of meetings ideally you should have in the beginning of any new business which is getting GCCs and alignment. So I think that I feel is another important area. Other thing I would say here is don't jump on everything what is coming your way. Pick up the right battle. So there could be 10 expectations coming in, but you can do your homework and find out these 2 or 3, something makes sense for me, and then put a structured plan and then work for it. I think we have a habit of whatever coming our way, we normally want to grab everything and anything. But I feel, especially for the leadership on the GCCs, I think success by success, delivering one by one is something which is going to give us a better and long-term results.
Right. And yes. And definitely moving forward, as we see, this space transforming, we also see GCCs also, transforming into maybe the best digital space, and of course in the tech and the business space as well. So a lot of questions, but all of them answered. And we were lucky that we got your practical insights and real world examples from the same, Amit. So lastly, I would like to ask that what do you think about the Leaders Circle program here at TechGig, and what are your views on this initiative?
Yeah. No, I think this is very good. And I feel leaders also need a platform where they can interact and they can also learn from each other. So that is one advantage. And second advantage I feel is I think there's still a lot of people who are in the journey. Either they are willing to join leadership, they are willing to join GCCs and would like to learn more, or they are the talent currently would like to see that how leaders have been thinking about it. So I see these are great platforms. I myself has been a good listener and viewer of any such platforms and talks happening and all, because you get to learn a lot. So great initiative. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that, Amit. It's always encouraging to hear that it's also helping bring all the industry leaders and developers together.
Thank you.
With that, we wrap. So with that, we wrap up this exclusive interview on scaling global capability centers for the future of marketing technology, data, and cloud. A heartfelt thank you to you, Amit, for joining us today and sharing such practical insights, real-world examples, and a forward-looking perspective on how GCCs are evolving into hubs of innovation and impact. From driving marketing technology, data, and cloud adoption to building agile, scalable teams and enabling digital transformation at a global scale, this conversation truly spotlighted the future of GCCs and their role in shaping the next-gen enterprise growth. This is your host, Khushi, and it was an absolute pleasure having you, Amit, with us. Thank you for tuning in and have a great day ahead. Stay tuned for more such conversations from TechGig. Until next time, take care and keep innovating.
Bye-bye. Thank you, Khushi. Hope it was helpful. Thank you.
Thanks, Amit, for joining in.